Good morning. How are you this morning? It is Thursday today. Good morning. Happy Thursday. It is a bright and sunny Thursday in Sacramento. And so, nice cool morning here in Sacramento. The sun is shining. We had a little sprinkly. Ed is okay after his tumble yesterday. That guy is a beast. He's a tank, and he should not be allowed to walk nor drive because he is trouble on his feet. He trips over his feet. So the only way to solve that is to cut off his feet. But he's too old for that. So we're gonna wait and just tolerate it until it becomes a bit too much. And then maybe we'll look into amputation. So then he's forced to not walk. I don't know. And then all you trolls won't have to tell him to sit down. Now y'all wonder why I'm always telling him to sit down? Because he is not stable. Stability is not there. Y'all bitch and complain. Stop treating him like a dog. Shit. Oh. Yeah, it's too old to come off his feet. You have lost 50 pounds? Victoria, girl, I need to learn how to do that too. I don't need 50, but I need at least 10. Shit. I'm about starving myself to lose some pounds. Not really, but yeah, I thought he was still sitting. I didn't hear him. Normally I do hear him get up, but I didn't hear him until I heard him in the laundry room. Dan didn't even hear it. I was like, dude, go see. It sounded like he knocks over my vacuums all the time in the laundry room. And so that's what it sounded like. So his tumble, it was a tumble, but it wasn't too bad of a tumble. Thank the Lord, right? The guy is trouble on his feet. Trouble. And that's why we always tell him to sit down. Because number one, he doesn't remember he's 92. So that's why I remind him. A lot of people trying to correct the things that I do lately, once again. Why you always got to tell him he's 92? It's called reality orientation. The guy doesn't realize how old he is, right? So you got to remind him he's 92, right? To let him know, right? He's not a young whippersnapper like he used to be. Why do I tell him it's my house? Well, there's a litany of explanation behind that. Again, reality orientation. So when he is asking questions, Ed is very specific. He wants to know who owns things, right? And if we tell him it's his house, then he starts controlling the situation, turning off lights, ordering us around, blah, blah, biscuit. So also sometimes when we say it's your house, our house, he says, oh, it's your house. I see the pool. So y'all, let me stick to what I know and Ed, right? I know Ed. I know what he's searching for. I know what he's liking. Ed likes control, right? Y'all think we want to live under the control of Ed? No! Been there, done that, and it is my house. It is my house. Oh, you should just lie to him. Oh, okay. Let me lie to him and then suffer the repercussions of those lies. I don't believe in that. His age is very important because he doesn't think he's 90, let alone 92, right? So it's very important to remind him of his age and joke around with it because we make light of the situation. That's how it works in our house. That's the way it's always worked in our house. He's 92. He's 92. And he needs to be told that as a reminder as to why he can't do things, right? Maria, I think you asked that. I think I just responded to you. Yes, distantly, there is a connection to Pierre Salinger. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, see, could you imagine trying to keep Ed in a chair? I mean, even if, God forbid, something happens, I don't know if we're gonna ever keep him down, right? Now, I have on YouTube, I have to address somebody on YouTube who's a watcher, obviously, because she picks up on my nuances and the things I say in the morning and then tries to use them against me. Sharon, give me a minute. Sharon, good old Sharon. Sharon made a comment. You remember yesterday how she's challenging me on my honesty. She said something to the effect of, you claim financial despair, which, no, I'm not in despair. My bank accounts are in despair, but I'm not in financial despair. So, correction number one, Sharon. Number two, Dan, you know how Dan was bantering about how I live the lap of luxury and I get anything I want. And remember that diatribe yesterday? So good old Sharon on YouTube tried to throw that at me and question my honesty and my trustworthiness. So my message to her is, Sharon, girl, honey, the problem is you. It's not me. For 1 second, do not question my honesty. Number two, maybe take a little lesson in sarcasm that my husband was speaking yesterday. Right? We are sarcastic. Don't put words in my mouth. I've never said I'm desperate. I've never said I'm just hate spending money like that. But Sharon, my husband was being sarcastic, honey. You gotta learn the lines and the relationship and the bantering between my husband and I. Or maybe this isn't the channel for you. Now, Sharon, I'll give you one more chance. But the next time you mouth off in questioning me and what I tell to my friends, and then taking the words of Dan when he's being sarcastic, you'll be gone, girl. I don't got time for that shit. Okay, anyhow, now we're done. There you have it. She watches, obviously. She watches the lives, or she wouldn't have come up with that stupid diatribe between my lives and the writings. So, Sharon, I'll keep the last name out of it this time. Next time it's going on full blast, so everybody can talk to you. Yeah, we'll play around with you for a little bit, and then eventually you'll go toodaloo. Yeah. So, anywho, I had to get that off my chest. I love people who try to, twist and turn things. No, I needed to set the record straight because I know she's watching. She's got nothing better to do with her time than watch, take notes, and try to use it against me. Oh, God. So exhausting. These people, I wish I had like a mechanism, I wish I had magical powers. Because that would zap every little fucker. Yep. Yeah, I'm honest. And I hate people that say I'm honest. Y'all know. I don't fake shit. I'm stressed. You're gonna hear about my stress. I'm irritated. You're gonna know about my irritations, right? She probably wants Dan. She's one of Dan's ninnies. Yeah. But that's okay. She can have him if she really wants. Maybe she can treat him better. Maybe he can give her some of the lap of luxuries he provides for me. Oh shit, he can, because we're out of money for luxuries. So Sharon, no luxuries coming your way, girl, because we out of money for luxuries. I can't afford to fix my stairs. Could I do it? Probably. I could do it. I could swing it. But I can't because most budgeters and most people would think, you know what? Now's not the time. I gotta wait to replenish, Sharon. It's called being responsible. It's called having forethought, foresight, and some sort of financial acumen, right? Could I do it? Absolutely. I can drop 10 grand to fix my upstairs, but I don't want to be stressed out any more than I am. So despair, no. I'm not in despair. I'm just trying to be a responsible adult since I handled the money. I'm walking dogs and a very confused lady was looking for her friends. Oh no. I was just gonna say that, Charisse. Oh no. God. Yeah, it's called being an adult. And it's called being responsible. And it's called, girl, you gotta hold your horses until you rebuild. Because I got taxes, house taxes coming up. I got bills, Sharon. I got bills, you know? So shoot me for being responsible. Shoot me for venting about my bills. Shoot me for being a human. Shoot me. Shit. Yeah, and I'm supporting 3 children. Yeah, to boot. Good morning, everybody. Hi, fucker. How you doing? I'm hanging in there, bruh. It's been a nightmare. Yeah, it's been a nightmare. I got perimenopausal fucking torture. I got a frozen shoulder. I got a headache. Well, that's part of the I got stress in my neck. And so, yeah. Celia, now, if you've been around for a minute, you know Dan and I banter. Now, everybody has got a glimpse into Dan, right? Y'all know what Dan is like, right? You see his energy level. You see how fucking stubborn he is. And you see how difficult he is, right? So in order for me to get through and continue on in this love that we have together and this journey that we have taken, I have to have sarcasm and banter with him, or else I would be gone. Because he is a stressful motherfucker. God, Salinger men are god awful. Sorry if you're watching and you're a Salinger man, but y'all need help. Y'all are flawed. Now that must have come from Daddy Salinger because he was the same way. But there's something that is lacking. And I don't know what it is. Common sense, empathy, which is, he's got empathy, just not towards certain people. You know? I don't know. But something is lacking in their brains. And so if I didn't have the fucking wherewithal and the sarcasm and the throwing him under the bus of my platform to make me feel better with him, what the hell? I started believing that it was me. I thought I was the cuckoo one until I started throwing his shit on social media and blasting his motherfucking ass. And everybody was like, girl, mine does the same, right? Thank the God my husband's not the only one. And we bonded over the husband and wife relationships because of my venting. Because of my coping. God, there are other people who are living the same way I am. Can you believe it? Holy shit balls. Other men walking around making messes in the kitchen and leaving it there for their wives to clean up. It's funny how you become relatable to other people. And then I realized at that point, it wasn't me. It's Dan. Just like I thought all along. Right? Anywho, so this is how I cope with my marriage. Yeah. Or else I would strangle him. Yeah. It's just the facts of life. You take the good, you take the bad, and then you have the facts of life. Yeah, too much aggravation. So, yeah. I know. I ask Dan every day. I see him sitting on the pot. I'm like, bruh, do you need me to wipe it for you? Do you need me to spit shine? You know, and get you all shiny and new? Yeah, no. So, how's Sinawath? How can people listen to her while jumping on her treadmill? She's using all of you to get through it. No shit! And everybody else is using me to get through their shit and to laugh about it. God, are you Sherlock Holmes? Did you take you that long to figure it out that we use each other to get through it all? Girl, you need another fucking magnifying glass if it took you that long. Yes, this is what we do here, Sinawatha. We do this. It's a community I have built through the same woes of my friends and followers. Fuck. I mean, can people not open their fucking eyes? God damn. It goes both ways. Right? So tell it he's not alone taking the spills. Oh no, little paw. I fall and I'm out for a week. Right? I fall. If I trip on myself, I'm out of commission. I'm hurting. My hips are out of alignment. My neck's trees. God knows what my shoulder would do. So I can't. Every time he falls at 92 and gets right up, pops up like he's 16. I mean, I would stay on the floor for a good 20 minutes before I got my fat ass up. Girl, you need to take a break for a minute. Make sure there's no blood, no bones sticking out of my legs. Make sure you know where you are, who you are. Make sure you didn't pee yourself or shit yourself. And then once you're fully assessed yourself, get the fuck up and go take some Advil and get your heating pad. Shit. Yeah. So, and that's the thing. It's like this guy, Dan's like, I can't, like, and hope to God we will never ever have to experience a god-awful fall. But it could be inevitable, you know, as these, God, those feet of his. If only I could fix them. If only I can fix magical powers in his knees and his legs to give him some strength. Maybe he could live without falling and stressing us the fuck out. Did he agree to get rid of the car? Hell no. He didn't agree. He didn't have a choice. Yes, Celia. Man, I live with my mom and work full time. If I added a husband to that, oh, Ruby, thank God you don't, girl. Shit. Yeah, he fell yesterday. He fell yesterday on the light, and he went into the laundry room. Those are t-shirts on the ceiling. My whole plan, because people send so much stuff, is to put all the stuff that, you know, we can't wear and decorate my ceiling, but I failed at that. Eventually, I'll get to it. Yeah, he did. Yep, he did. Is the Porsche going? Mari, do you really think the Porsche is going? For fuck's sake, come on. Girl, do you think, I really couldn't do that to him. I want to, but I feel bad. I couldn't do it because it is his one top possession in life. He said, for ever since we were young, he said, remember that, the 80s, remember the 80s, that poster, you know, it was a total lifestyle poster. It was a sunset. The cars were out of the garage. You could see the garage, and there was like a Porsche, a Ferrari, and I don't know what kind of cars there were, but there were like 4 cars in the poster, right? And he said, when we had you, girl, you had me chuckling, GSR. That was his dream. Every time we saw those posters, he would say, I'm buying a Porsche one of these days. I'm buying a Porsche. And he did. And how the hell, and who am I to say, get rid of it? I do say we need to get rid of it. It would be smart to get rid of it. But I'm going to be 85 still driving the stick shift. No, by then, Andrew will have it. And Andrew's like, what the hell? That's my car. That's my family heirloom. And I'm like, oh, for the love of Pete, here we go. For the love of Pete. Well, y'all need to learn how to drive it then. I'm tired of it. Maintenance is expensive, Richard, especially when you don't drive it a lot, especially it being 20 years old. You know, like as we get older, our pipes dry out and crack, right? Things start going wrong, original parts start failing us. We need surgeries and shit. So, anywho, you know, hey Jeff. So it's expensive. And every time there is a fix that needs to be done, it's at least minimum $1,000, right? You know, the insurance, because it's so old, GSR, it's not so bad. Now, if I could afford it, I would take it and trade it in on a new one, right? With a warranty, like a Panamera. I love me a Panamera. I have been wanting a Panamera forever, but I can't afford it. Sharon, I can't afford it. You know why? Because I'm responsible. Sharon, on YouTube. Because I'm responsible. Could I afford it? Yes. But why would I do that? Why would I spend that money? Right? I mean, it's stupid with all the expenses we already have. It's not practical, Sharon. That's why I'm not doing it. Could I? Yes, Sharon, I could. But I gotta wait and rebuild and then finish my shit. Eventually, yeah, I'm Richard, I was a big car girl too. Oh God, I love cars. If I had my way, I would get a new car every 2 years, right? On the Porsche, not very many. Dan doesn't drive it at all, Jeff. I'm the only one that drives it. So I'll drive a couple times a week. My main driving, just to keep the parts lubricated, is up to see my Nuggets play sports. So I take it about 45 minutes to and back every weekend, sometimes twice. So that's when the most of the driving goes, but it's still not enough on an old car to keep it lubed up. Oh, my treadmill. Jeff, that changes. My treadmill running, like right now I'm at 2 miles. I will run and walk anywhere from 4 to 5 miles a day. Yeah, gotta keep it lubricated. You know, like if we could self-lubricate our whole body, you know, in the morning time, maybe we wouldn't get out of the bed with the creaks and the moans and the groans, you know? So I look at the Porsche like me. It's not always happy. So the check engine light comes on because she ain't lubricated enough. She's hurting. She's got aches and pains. He has neglected her. He hasn't even touched her. He won't even look at her. He does look at her every day. And he says, God, I love that car. Yeah. No car license, Jeff. What the hell? So, yeah, no. He looks at her all right. He loves looking at her. It's his eye candy, you know? It's his eye candy, but that's it. He drove it the other day because Andrew took the Subaru and he wouldn't take Andrew's car because who washes the Porsche? I do. Who washes the Subaru? I do. Y'all, I do everything. I don't understand why y'all got even asked such questions. GSR, girl, you should know better. Why are you asking who washes it? Has Dan ever washed it? Fuck. No. He used to take that fucker through a car wash, and I used to get so mad at him. Bro, what are you doing? It's so little. You can literally hand wipe it in 15 minutes. Yeah. Jade, yes, simple math. It's a 2004, which makes it 20 years old. Yeah. Yeah. So, I drive it. I'm gonna pull it out today and drive it again. Because I gotta leave the other my car, which I will not take back. Because Dan has fucked it up. Ripped my car seat. So I was like, oh, can't be that much to fix. They want like $1,400 with labor because they have to take the fucking seat apart to fix the, what? Not worth it, Sharon. Not worth spending the $1,400 on, right? Because it's just the car seat. Get over it, right? Priorities, responsibilities. Now, if I had an extra $1,400 laying around and my stairs were done and all the other necessities, then maybe I would say, fuck it, YOLO, you know? But I'm not, Sharon. You know why? Because I'm a responsible accountant of my family's fortune. Nobody likes to write big checks. Am I right? Right? Who likes to write a big check? Nobody. Especially continuously big checks. What the fuck? Ugh. So why can't I bitch about that? I'm in despair. Because I hate writing big fucking checks. Sharon? God, it's exhausted. Yeah. So it's funny because my kids were like Sharon, right? My kids grew up with me saying, can't afford it. Can't afford it. We just can't afford it, right? Can't afford it. So it's funny because if my kids ever told the story, maybe when I'm dead, they'll say, you know, they'll tell you what happened. Oh yeah, we always thought we were broke because mom always said, we're broke, can't buy it. Sorry, don't have enough money, can't do it. Nope. Were we really broke? No. But it's called being responsible. So Hannah's like, oh my God, I had biggest PTSD growing up because I thought every minute we could be broke and be out of here. Oh yeah, Mary, I bet. So yes, it sucks, right? Am I broke? No. Do I like writing big checks? Never. And when I told my kids we were broke, it's because maybe we weren't making money at that time, right? Because self-employment. Maybe, you know, Dan wasn't working. Maybe, so I had to make it work. So no, we are broke. And you know what we always say? We are broke until we are able to retire, right? So we're broke. We all have our shit. How many of you have to keep a certain amount of money in your checking or savings? I used to be anal. And if I dip below a certain amount in my checking, I would have a panic attack, right? That I would have a panic fucking attack. And then I finally got over that because I was like, things are just too, you can't predict shit, right? I can't predict roof leaks and I can't predict half of my rental crumbling down to the ground, right? I can't predict that shit. And that's why you save money. So you have it to repair without taking out a loan. Doesn't mean I like it, right? I have it, yes. I'm fortunate that I have it, absolutely. But it doesn't make it easy to write it. And then watch your bank account go from here to here. No, yeah, always gotta have backup. So now I stop with my checking, Mari, because I used to be really weird. And then I stopped, right? So now I have a savings, and I was like, all right, there's my savings. I try not to touch it, right? I try not to touch it. I try to use whatever money I've transferred over and utilize, right? So I don't want to. And eventually, if I have money left over, I put some in the tax account and some in my savings. But I haven't been able to do that, the savings part, or the tax part. But I'm fine right now. Maybe next year I might be in trouble, but we'll keep working and saving, trying to. Anyhow, you don't trust me. Yeah, so we all have our little, our little things to get through. And you all have to remember, right? Dan didn't work for a long time, right? Dan didn't work for a long time, you guys. So we lived off of our investments. That's scary. Yes, we were fortunate to have them, but scary nonetheless. So we are fortunate that we have this opportunity, right, to make a living doing what we're doing, and I'm fortunate to help contribute now. So, yes, I've had to micromanage for 10 years our estate through no working, through heart attacks, through everything. It was all left on me to make it work, right? Dan would tell me, figure it out, that's all we have. You want to spend? Well, you're going to be fucked. You got to make sure it works, right? What? Huh? What? No, it's horrible, Mary. It's horrible, right? Me too, Ronnie. I want to put $10 in a machine and come out with, I'll even take 2 million. Shit, I ain't greedy. Even a million I would take. Let's be real. 500,000, fine, bottom line. So, imagine having that stress, right? Imagine having that stress. Well, I ain't working. So, there you have it. Those years were difficult. We fought a lot. My man in my house, the only breadwinner, right, has just decided, oh well, figure it out. Luckily, we have some investments to get by until I can figure it out, right? Scary. So I had to manage my life, college, and everything like that with what we had. So that's where I come up with my PTSD. It's hard when no money's coming in. Try that, Mari. You sell a house, you have X amount of money, the bank account looks great, and after a year, guess what? Nerves are starting to pick up. Oh, Stormy. Wow, that's fun. What'd you get? That's one of my things I would love to have. I would love somebody to surprise me with a car, with a red bow, with my dog for 3 years. That's okay, Jeff. I know sometimes the single people out there get lonely, and I get it, But sometimes, God, what it would feel like to be lonely. Yeah, give me $1 million, I would try. Yep. So anyhow, I didn't say PTSD over a house, John. Pay attention, listen up, don't be passive aggressive and start making it about other people. This is about me right now. This isn't about changing it and flipping the narrative on some other people who are less fortunate. Come on, get over yourself. This is my situation that I'm talking about. People irritate me. Me too, Jeff. But I can't figure out how to get rid of the people. I know, Gracie. So anyhow, this has been the last 10 years of my life. Somebody said, how long? Last 10 years. Dan had a heart attack in 2019 and it got worse. It got worse. We happened to, at that time, we were selling one of our rentals because that's what we did. Dan bought rentals for investments in security, right? Every time. And so we sold it and happened to sell it right at the time. It closed on the day. That he had his heart attack. How fucking weird is that? So that kept us afloat for a year and a half. No money coming in, right? I mean, you guys, there is no sort of luxury or anything like that in any lifetime. You may have pieces of luxury, moments of luxury, but most people don't experience that throughout their whole lives, right? We experience luxury, or what we knew to be luxury, and we also experience living and spending our retirement because Dan wasn't working. So that's stressful, right? It's stressful for one person to handle, especially when one person is like, figure it out. I ain't going back, you know? And it's like, what? We used to fight a lot over that. It's like, you can't just not do something because you had a heart attack. You know, you got to figure it out. Like, we can't just not and live off of all of our retirement, you know? And this just came, you know? I mean, the accidental video of Ed during the pandemic came, and then we saw that there could be some other future for us. Pretty fucking cool, right? We don't make as much money as Dan did, right? It takes two of us, and we still don't make the same kind of money Dan made by himself. So, yes, I am broke until I can retire, right? And every time a big ticket item comes up that you have to repair, it puts you further back. Not angry at him, angry at the disease. It's hard, and it's hard not to get angry at them, right? Because of the disease, it's them. And you're angry at the disease, but you can't help but to get angry at them too, because you get frustrated. You're frustrated. This is not how our golden years are supposed to happen, right? So I get it. Being rich is not enough. You need to be wealthy. You need to be, and I'm not looking to be like Kardashian rich, right? None of us are going to experience that in our lifetime, unless we come up with a video game or a computer chip or, you know, some fucking app that takes off or whatever. None of us here will experience that fortune over time. And I don't know if I really want it. Do you know like how much stress they probably have to keep up that lifestyle? I mean, it probably costs them millions of dollars a month just to maintain their life. So I don't think that's a great way to live. I think being comfortable is good enough. Not having to worry, knowing you have enough money to get through and to do repairs and to still be able to travel and buy the things you want, right? It's hard. This life we are living today is hard. I went from a 1989 Suburban to a 2013. Yes, Stormy, that's still good. That's a huge difference. Yeah, that's cool. And that's why, you know, Jeff, and that's the thing. That's why I'm not fixing my stairs, because it would be really stupid of me to invest right now in those. We can live on wood stairs for another, you know, year if we had to. Is it nice? No. But I can't spend, and I can't rationalize spending money on my stairs now because I've had so many expenses. My car's going kind of haywire, my Subaru, there's electronic shit going on. I don't know if that's gonna start failing at some point, and I'm gonna have to invest in that. You know, I've got a roof fix that's coming this Saturday for $3,600, a more chunk of change. You know, it's hard to live in this world today. You know, it's hard. You know, and what is cool about this is I used to want cars all the time. I used to want cars all the time, but it's really not worth it, right? Because it's additional money. My car's like 8 months from being paid off. You know, it's 8 months. And the only reason why it's not paid off now is because it's 0%. So that's why we kept the loan on it. But at that same time, it's almost like it's stupid right now. I mean, I talk about it because would it be nice? Yes, it would be nice hypothetically to be able to blow money. But do I do it? No. Well, I do at the casino. But you know what? That's my peace of mind. I couldn't give up. Like, if I got a new car, you know, I would really have to budget. My email, Jeff. My email. Mrs. DSalNorCal3@gmail.com. The number 3. Dreams to enjoy, they're not going to happen. No. How to make some of them come true. And you can marry. It just may not be with your husband. You know? No. Jake, that thing is scary. It's very intimidating. You know? Put a runner on the stairs. At this point, I'll just fucking paint them and call it a day. So, you know, I am living, you know, as close to, you know, I mean, Dan goes out to lunch every day, you know, there's things we do enjoy, but I don't spend like I used to. So it's my handle name, Jeff, Mrs. DSalNorCal. So look at my handle name, add a number 3 @gmail.com. You would drag him along? Oh my gosh, Mary. Yeah, so many unfinished projects because things come up. You know, things come up and you have to prioritize. And I prioritize because I've had to work on keeping things at a bare minimum, right, for us. So it's hard, you know, it's hard. And so I'm we don't have money, especially after this. And it stresses me out because of the PTC of not having money coming in. We have money coming in finally. You know how long it's been since we've had monthly money coming in? We can rely on at least something. This is the first like together, like last year was the first full year that we've had monthly money coming in. Not sporadic, monthly, right? Going into this year, which I have picked up the pace and I'm also contributing. We have something we can rely on every month. Do you know what kind of relief that gives me? You know, it gives me a huge sense of relief because I have lived so long with knowing and not expecting or can't expect anything. Scary. It's scary. It's scary. And luckily, Dan did, you know, some smart things to get us through those times. It's pretty cool. And we still have a little bit left in property, you know, but those are what those things were for. Safeguards. Because when you're self-employed, there's no guarantees. And then when your husband has a heart attack and just doesn't want to work anymore, fuck, there becomes another issue, you know? So, yes, you know, but Jay, that helped too because, you know, we did save for each kid. Every time Darren got a big case, you know, he put away money. My mom, when she died, Ed gave us, split some of her beneficiary money. She had a life insurance policy. He took some and then he let me and Josh split the rest. So, you know, those little niceties went to help their education, right? So luckily, I mean, of course it costs more than what we saved, right? And we still contribute as much as we can. Yeah, I love it. I love when people send me stuff, Jeff. I like looking at what specialties are. So yes, you know, fuck, I've done pretty amazing. And I've put up and I've had stress and I've made it through. Hasn't been easy, no. But I share it with you because I understand, right? I understand what it is to live, you know, as close to below our means or barely making it. I was there too. And in my world today, I would say I'm still there. I'm still there. I know what that feels like. I know how stressful it is. I know, and it carries that burden with me all the time. Every time something else happens, it's like I'm either gonna laugh or cry, you know? Because I'm trying to prepare for our future, and it's hard when you keep getting knocked down with shit. You know, I try. But imagine, you know, imagine having that stress put on you and saying, well, figure it out. Figure it out. Not my problem. I'm not working, so figure it out. You want a job? Go get a job. Figure it out. Excuse me? Yeah, so, been there. And I share this shit because it's my life. And I think it's important to talk to you about. I like to talk about it. You know, it helps me cope. It helps me realize that, you know, helps me talk through things. It helps me, and it helps other people too. Because I hate having those visions. I hate people thinking that I'm some prima donna who is just living life and eating bonbons all day long. Everything I have done and everything I have accomplished has been on me. The family success has been because of me. Because I've had to deal with it. I've had to get us through those hard times. And I'm still doing it. That's stressful. You know, here's the thing, what I would do, Grace, I would take my kids out of it. If whatever you have told me is accurate and to the point, my kids wouldn't be in the inheritance anymore. You want to play? You get nothing. I'll give it all to charity. Everybody's numbers are different, but it affects everybody in the same way. Exactly. And then brain cancer. Yeah. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, that's the shit that happens. I mean, you could be living high on life like we were, and then boom, you know, an ending partnership, and then boom, the stress of it dissolving, and then boom, a heart attack, and then boom, you know, having you know, your maker, you know, and then boom, I can't do this job anymore. It's too stressful. And think about all the people like me who were stay-at-home moms for 20 years, right? Or stay-at-home moms forever, and then your husband gets brain cancer. And then you go from so much to nothing. And having to live that, your lifestyle changed dramatically. I love that. Mary does cook a lot, and I love that. I just can't understand that they have no concern. Yeah, you know what, just like though, you gotta stop. I tell you this all the time when you say that. You gotta stop thinking. It's not up to you, Grace. It's not up to you. It's up to them. You can't control it, so stop letting it control you. You can have it. It's not gonna go away, but you are way too controlled and too angry at them. You gotta let that go. Live your fucking life. Your life is stressful enough with your husband. You don't need to focus on the added stress of your kids who are being idiots. That's on them. That's on them. Not you. You've got to mourn it and you've got to move on. Because all it's doing is adding and compounding your day-to-day stress. Fuck that. Take them out of the will. Take them out of the will. Why do they deserve to have anything the way they're treating you guys? Fuck that. You want to play? We can play. Right? We can play. Let's suit up and get ready for this fight. But I can tell you something. If my kids will ever become that disrespectful to me and to their father and to do that, guess what? They're out of the will. Why would I want to leave them a cent? I don't play. I don't play. Fuck you. Yeah, bye-bye for sure. And I can tell you, the the thing is that, you know, there are people out there who do bank on their parents' retirements. And I find that so disgusting to me. Because in most cases, the retirements aren't that much, number one. Number two, make your own fucking shit. Number three, what the fuck? Right? Why are we spending something? How are people spending money before they even know what's there? How do people spend that retirement? How do you know the retirement? How do you know your parents are going to spend it all? Yeah, me too, Jeff. My kids know. They know. I'm not playing. You fuck up and you do this shit with me and drop out, you're fucking done. Like, cut, you will be removed from everything that should be yours. More for the other two. Yes, but Slick, you say the same thing every day. I get it. You gotta mourn it because it's out of your hands. Yeah, it's out of your hands. It's like you have to find some way, somehow, to come up and find some peace for yourself. Because you will die before your husband at this point with all that stress. So unless they obey you, they are done. User 203-8076-190371. That's not what I said. Don't switch my words around. Don't switch my words around. Listen, open your mind, expand your mind, and listen to what I said. It's not about obeying. It's about disrespectful kids who leave their parents for God knows whatever reason they choose to. Keep their grandchildren away from them and do their fucking shit because they know better. Fuck that. Fuck that. Yes, and if they pull that shit with me, I can love my kids unconditionally. That doesn't mean I won't love my kids. I will always love my kids, but I don't have to like my kids. There's a huge difference. Moneymaker, right here, baby. Right here. Yeah. And don't come in. God, I hate when people do that. It's like, do they even listen? Or do they just have to insert because they're assuming and they just want to be ugly to people? Yeah, I'd rather have my mom. I mean, I don't want this money. You can't, what are you going to do? Put it in a retirement or save it or pay off something or whatever? Okay, whatever, whatever. I can tell you, I have family that is going through the same fucking shit. Kids are whatever because they have some narrative in their head and, they're using babies and, things against each other. And it's like, what are you doing? Your parents should be loved. You should love your parents no matter what their faults are. Every fucking parent fucks up somehow. Unless, of course, they were really bad parents, like, abuse and all that shit, and you can't love that. But, aside from the norm, like, there's nothing that I have done that has jeopardized my kids' lives. Whatever they choose to be angry at from the past is their own narrative. That's their choice if they want to focus on that. And if they're going to focus on that, and let it ruin a relationship between a mother, a father, and a child, that's on them. I don't have to like them if they go away from me and ignore me and don't call me and don't want a relationship with me anymore or keep their grandkids from me. I don't have to like them. I will always love them and I will always have that hurt in my system. But you don't understand these kids today. I don't know what it is, if it's their expectation. They want things, they want control over how things and relationships are supposed to be. It's difficult these days. And these kids, these generations are so backwards. And maybe it's us, society. We have caused this, right? God, when grandkids go no contact, it's devastating, especially when you don't know why or what happened in the grandchildren. Yes, MK, that's what I'm talking about. Do you know how many people live that way? And you don't know, and they won't give you an ounce of fucking idea of what you did or why they're away from you. But you know what? You should be pissed. You should be pissed. Because they want to dictate how things go, how your relationships. Nothing should be on a schedule. If I called right now, if I called my sister-in-law and said, hey, I want to come up. Can I come see the kids? She'd be like, yeah, sure. Whenever you want. You want to come up? Yeah, stay for dinner. That's the way it should be. You shouldn't be like, oh, no, it doesn't work for me. You can come between the hours of 1 and 2. What the fuck? What the fuck? If my kids ever did that shit to me, they wouldn't do it for me. Because when they have kids, they're going to need me. So, yeah.
At that point, they're going to be cut out of the will if they've cut out. Why do I have to give them anything that I've worked hard for when they've totally disrespected me? No, I don't have to do it. They can fuck off. So you don't respect boundaries. User, you're on my last nerve. Yeah, you're on my last nerve. Get over yourself and stop being passive aggressive. He was an injured, yeah, you are estate planning right now. Yeah, if your kids are fucking you over, fuck them. You can always add them back if you want to later. You know what I mean? But if they're giving you shit now, get rid of them. Divide it between whoever's left and be nice. And so I get it. Like, I'm living this through a family member of mine. And it's so difficult. And, you know, coming from having lost a mom and a dad, and knowing the guilt that I have from turning my back on my dad for very valuable and reasonable, you know, reasons. But at 50, it gives me stress and guilt. And those kids, unless they're fucking sociopathic, are gonna have to deal with that later in life. Yes, Stacy, I'm dealing. I can't, you know, give you any more than what I'm doing, but it's just so crazy. It's so crazy. Sarah, my vibration plate it's just automatic, so it goes from 1 to 10. Yeah. You and your dad didn't get along. My dad was bipolar. My dad had a hard time keeping up our relationship because he was in Nashville and I was in California, until his second wife came in the picture. She forced him to kind of be responsible and do that thing. He was not very responsible. He self-medicated with pills and alcohol, bike walks, and I got to a certain age and it was too painful to maintain a relationship with him because I wanted more and I couldn't get more and I didn't understand why he couldn't love me. He did love me. You know, now, of course, being older, I understand. And then he committed suicide. He tried to take his life, right? And then I just said, this is fucking too much. He tried to unalive himself and he lived. At the time, my mom was dying of cancer. And you can imagine the anger that I had. And so I just stopped talking to him. Yeah, I just stopped. I just was like, I can't handle this. My best friend is dying and here you are trying to unalive yourself. Well, fucking switch places. Give her your life. And she said that, you know. She came in and she said, he fucking wants to die? I'm trying to live. Imagine being in that situation. She was at my house and we were talking preparations for her fucking death, right? Preparations. We were talking will and what she wanted to have done and all these preparations, and I get a fucking phone call that my dad tried to unalive himself. And then I'm like walking in like this and she's like, and I'm crying going, what the fuck is going on with my life? And she's like, what, honey, what's going on? And I said, well, my dad tried to kill himself. And she was pissed. She was like, that fucking prick. What the fuck? You know, what a complete selfish individual. Here I am, you know, here I am trying to live and that fucking piece of shit is ending his life. Fuck him. And I was like, I just was standing there crying. I was like, how the hell, what do I do? You know, how do I get, what's happening? Am I in the fucking Twilight Zone? I got Andrew running through, you know, screaming, you know, happy as can be. The girls were upstairs playing. I was just like, what do you do? You know, what do you do? So and I remember I was in my living room and my family room kitchen was red and my mom was coming to me because I was just standing in that open way. And she was like, what happened? And that was it. I mean, that was it. And so, yeah, that sucks. So I understand what, you know, you guys who have these estranged kids for God knows what reasons, and you may not even know, you know, and all you can do is continue to love them, but it's out of your control. It's out of your control, right? All you can do is do the best you can. Send them notes. Don't expect any reply. Love you. Send them birthday cards. Send them happy birthdays. Don't expect anything in return. And hopefully one day, before your last breath, you will make amends. And if you don't, then that's on them, not you. You know? Oh no, Jeff, you're fine. No, you're fine. And it kind of goes, you know, with the theme of estranged kids and all these mamas and daddies suffering because their kids have stopped talking to them and they keep grandkids away from them. I would die, you guys. I just want you to know that. I understand because I'm living it with a family member right now. And she's so distraught, right? And I'm going to Nashville. You know? Things are different right now. Things are different. And it sucks. It fucking sucks. But at this point, you have to get over it. You have to get over it in as much as you can. You have to take, yes, I can imagine, MK. It would be a death to me. You have to mourn it like a death. And that's crazy. Do you know why? You know, that's the thing. Sometimes they don't even give us the benefit of the doubt and explain to us. But it's going to be on them. And they are going to try and they will suffer themselves eventually in time unless something is mentally wrong with them and they're sociopathic and they'll have no remorse. But most everybody will have a remorse because of his mom. And you know, it's hard for them. And this is what pisses me off. You know what I mean? This is what pisses me off. When and take out all the abuse and all the sexual abuse or the beating, the druggies, and take just that situation like most of us have. Some of us don't, but generalized, you know what I mean. Anyway, take a normal situation. We do the best we can given our circumstances at the moment of parenting. There is no instruction manual. There is no instruction manual in life. As kids grow older, their PTSD, their trauma happens before the age of 7, right? Before the age of 7, the trauma in our heads have already formed, and they manifest themselves later in life into our issues currently, okay? So what happens is, even though there's always a relation, our brain is very smart and it associates whatever traumas we have as adults from those traumas that we have established early in life. You can have 3 kids, right? 3 kids in the same house and they all have a different view of what the childhood was like. I can listen to my kids tell the stories and the differences and how they viewed things, right? I have one that's a little bit more angry than the others, right? And she just sees so many wrongdoings, and because she had a specific narrative, already devised in her head of how she thought she wanted her life to be. And because that life didn't turn out the way she wanted it to do or be, she holds grudges. She holds grudges because of the narrative that she had established, that she expected for us to live out, or her dad or whoever. But because it wasn't our narrative and it wasn't us, she holds grudges for those things. Still, today. Bruh, are you kidding me? You know, it didn't happen that way. Just because you wanted it to happen that way doesn't mean it was going to happen. You can't control what your parents or how your parents are going to be. And she's angry. She's angry. So you know what? Girl, you got to figure that shit out on your own. You know, I can't change the past, nor can your dad, nor can you. Got to look at the things you did have. You had a great life. You were able to play soccer. You were able to travel. You were able to be clothed and pretty much have whatever you want. You know, you got to look at the things that you did have. Look at the positives, right? But they don't. They focus on the negatives. And then they get pissed. Well, it pisses me off that they're pissed off about things.
Unknown caller.
It pisses me off as a parent that you're pissed off because you wanted your storyline to play out and it didn't happen your way. Well, fuck you. And whatever you're holding in your head, that's your responsibility. That isn't mine. I did my job. I did a fucking good job, and I did the best I can do. But I can't change your narrative, and I couldn't change it back then. So what you're holding on to is anger from your own story, not from what actually happened, but from your story, because you didn't roll out the way it wanted to. Well, guess what, girl? It doesn't happen because you can only control yourself, not those of others. Right? Right? So moms and dads out there who are dealing with kids in that same situation, angry at you, something that you don't understand, that's in their own heads. They are responsible for letting it go. They are responsible for hopefully one day coming to their conclusion and apologizing for the pain that they are given or have given you. And sometimes it comes too late. I am one that came too late. When I just came and I realized that, you know what, I fucked up. Nonetheless, he was my dad. He had a mental illness. He did the best he could. And I should think about the things that were the best things that he gave to me. Too late. Too late. How do you move through? You got to find it. You got to find it. That guilt that I have for my dad plagues me every day, right? Just like not having my mom here, having my dad, you know, my mom being gone, it's still that loss, but having the loss and the guilt. And that's why I'm so happy that as frustrating as this situation is with Ed in the house and all the shit that comes along with it, I'm glad that when he dies, there won't be guilt, right, on my end anymore. There won't be guilt because we have repaired our years of angst, right? Or at least I have. I don't think he would ever have thought about it the way I do. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he would think or feel, Ed's incapable of feeling that deep to how I felt towards him. So I'm happy that there will be a death and not the regret that I have with my dad, right? Right. So I feel like I've done something good here, right, to repair. It doesn't make up for what I did with my dad. It doesn't help that. It doesn't make up for that at all. But what it does do is give me one less feeling of guilt with repairing. As far as how you move on, you got to find something. It's never going to go away, right? It's never going to go away. Your loss, right? That feeling, whether it's your kids or whether it's, not making amends with a mom or a dad or whatever it is, you're always going to carry with that with you. But you got to end up loving yourself. You've got to understand. You got to love yourself. You've got to get yourself healthy, and it becomes easier. I promise you. I promise you. I have lived it. Now, it happened with me. So... Short term, I just said something relevant. When you get bitten by a snake, you don't first look for the snake and ask why it bit you. You first look how to get healed. That was great, and thank you for sharing that. Let me say that again. When you get bitten by a snake, you don't first look for the snake and ask why it bit you. You first look how to heal. How to heal from it. How do you heal from it? You got to find some healing. You don't have regret because you will never admit you messed up. Did I just not admit that I messed up? I'm confused at what you're hearing and what I said. So you got to take care of yourself. And you said that earlier, Jeff, too. It's so important to take care of yourself first. Yes, it is. And Susie, it's okay. What my suggestion to you is what I would do with the waves. When that sadness came in with my mom, I allowed the wave to be there. I took the wave. I cried, I screamed, I punched, I did whatever I had to do. And then once I calmed down, I said, all right, girl, get back up. Don't ignore the waves. Let them come because you have to feel. And it's also a release. I think it's important to feel those.
My mom that's told normal. Things do come in waves.
My mom told me.
They also leave in waves.
My mom told me brother who died of cancer last year didn't love me. When I told my dad, he told me she didn't mean it. I don't forgive them. Yeah, well, that was an anger thing. I mean, Laura, you have to. You should forget that. You should forget that because she was speaking from anger, and those are things that you guys, it's so important to differentiate. And I'm speaking from my own experience, right? I'm not just pulling this from my ass. I'm surrounded by everything that you guys are talking about, whether it's kids, estranged kids, whether it's guilt from a parent relationship, or all these things, right? It is, we all have to cope. You have to forgive yourself, right? You have to forgive yourself. You have to you have to love yourself, right? I carried more shit around when I was just unaware, right? Unaware of me and who I really am. I was negative. I was constantly judging people. I was jealous of people. That's just fucking ugly, right? And then one day I woke up and I was like, what am I doing? When I started social media, I saw myself, and what I saw was so horrific for me. Horrific for me. Because it wasn't the shit that you guys focus on, you know? I'm talking about the people in the back, the tone and the way my personality. It was the shit that is deeper, that was inside. And I was like, whoa, whoa. You guys, what is happening? Why am I like that? And it took a lot of me staring at myself, right? It took a lot of me looking at myself. It took a lot of me looking and saying, Danielle, what the fuck? Stop. Find your happiness, right? Find your inner peace. Find it. Make amends with what you got to do and lessen up the burdens that you are carrying. Unfortunately, Mary, I couldn't have been a successful counselor because I didn't have all these experiences. Today at 50, I could probably be a badass counselor because of all my experiences. Because of all the experiences. I have experienced almost everything, you know? Almost everything I have experienced in some way. And these are the things I've had to cope with and deal with and to try to make sense of in my later years. And social media really helped me find me. I have found me, and I am a force to be reckoned with now. I feel like I came I feel like I came out on top, Jeff. I mean, I feel like, you know, it reminds me of one of the slot machines. I used to play, it was the Price is Right slot machine, and it was funny. You'd go, one of the bonus games was the cliffhanger or something, and if you picked too much, you know, you fell off the cliff. And so I feel like I'm on that cliff, and I'm just hanging. I'm just oh, Mary, God, you're way too sweet to me. Thank you, girl. I feel like I'm just on that top of that cliff and I'm on one foot and I'm just teetering. You know, some days I'm like this and some days I'm like this or standing up straight. I can never figure out. I can never figure out what way I'm going to go. But I feel like for everything that I have, my mom is here again, the hummingbird. I feel like for everything I've endured and where I was, how I was dark too, Jeff. I was dark. When I look back today, I was so dark. I was lost. I was angry. My mom died. How was I going to live? Where was my only sense of stability? My mom died, left me. I was dark. I was really dark. I don't feed the hummers. You call it the hummers, and the hummers. Sandy, my mind went completely somewhere else. A big surprise. The hummers. The hummingbirds. I have pomegranate trees all over my property. Yeah, so they eat the flowers and the pomegranate trees. Yeah. Congratulations, Jeff. And that's a huge accomplishment, for the addictions, you overeat. And James, everybody has their things, whether it's liquor, it's food, it's drugs, it's pills, it's whatever it is. We all, Dan was saying something the other day and I kind of got defensive about it. And then I sat back and I thought, and I was like, yeah, you're right, I guess. But I didn't tell him that. But in my head, I made peace with it. And so he said, we all, what was the word? We were talking about wine, alcohol. And he made a comment and it just triggered me about the alcohol. And I don't remember what was said, but we were laying in bed and he said, what did he say? He said something to the effect of, Daniel, I'm not mad at you. I'm not blaming you. I'm not saying anything about whatever. I think what you do is fine, right? I mean, I don't think you're not a blittering drunk, but we all escape. We all have our vices. Thank you, Latita. We all have our vices. And I'm not saying you're in control. Sometimes you're not, we all have our ways of coping with the stresses of life, right? Granny Annie, my daughter played collegiate soccer. Her flag is back there behind the hunky stud over here. She was a All-American. Yeah, she graduated with all top records and everything through her college. So, sorry, Lee Doug. So yeah, Latidas. Well, there's no S. So, so yes, basically, we all escape somehow. Everybody has coping mechanisms and how we do things. And I am trying to lose some weight before I head back home because I have no clothes to fit into. And I'm going to have to go shopping next week for an outfit, or two. Because I got the comfy clothes, y'all. You don't have to worry about that. But, something presentable for, the function. So I've been trying to lose some weight. I've been trying to really watch my eating. And I have not had wine in 7 days. Today would be the 7th day if I don't drink wine. Today would be the 7th day. And I don't feel any different, I don't feel any different. I don't feel like, it's made a huge impact on the next day because I don't ever, oh no, Holly. Oh gosh, I couldn't imagine. I missed it yesterday. Yesterday I was like, God, I could really, I drink a couple times a month and I want to come back. But Emily, I was drinking every day. Like I have 1 to 2 glasses of wine every day. And I just thought, well, let me see if I notice a difference if I cut out wine for like 2 weeks. Today will be the 7th day. Yesterday was the 6th day, and I was like, I really want a glass of wine. Like this was the first day out of, that I was like, oh God, I really want wine. I really could use a glass, but I didn't do it. I was like, girl, you got this. And then Dan got mad at me. He got mad at me last night because I took a gummy instead. So, and he got mad at me. I can't win with him. Did you hear him? He's like, it's not yourself. And he was mad that I took a gummy. Because he was mad. I don't know why he was mad, but he was mad. But the main problem was something fast, more serious. Oh, Jeff, really? Well, that's good that you're... So yeah, so I started doing the gummies. But then he was mad at me because I did it before the live. But at about 3:30 is when I take them, right? Because it gives me about an hour, right? It gives you, and he offered me wine. He told me, he said, do you need a glass of wine or something? But it's like, I don't know. I can't win with him. I drink wine and then I'm too feisty. I take a gummy and I'm too quiet. It's like, well, what do you want? And I can't even, I have to fit the standards of how to touch to the ninnies. Like I can't, what the hell? Yeah, no. And so Jeff, he was mad at me. He was like, don't do that. Well, I'm gonna do it because I have to do it. By the end of the day, my patience is gone. And if I'm not drinking wine, I'm going to be gumming because I need something, right? So yes, 7 days today. Now I'm going to see, it takes about an hour. Yeah. So Dan started growling at Coda as he walks out with his dad. I just don't fuck with the hard stuff. Yeah, it's Jeff. It's that hard stuff can be dangerous. Hiya. Hello.
We're gonna take a little walk out.
Yeah, we'll keep
Alright.
going right
Come
down.
if you want.
No, thank you.
Okay.
You know, I think I'm gonna buy him some slip-on Vans. Didn't you say that?
What?
Slip-on Vans because they're heavy.
Yeah, that's what I want to get them. I was thinking about that today. Exactly. That's what we need to get them.
Yeah.
Light.
A gummy. Helen, can somebody tell me what a gummy is? Because I want one. No, Crocs are too flimsy. He needs a little heavy. He needs stability, and Vans, are very like stable. And slip on. I just hate these Skechers. I remember why I don't like them. I do have half siblings. Yeah. I know. No. I'm not fucking up my life, Jeff, but I'm really trying to see. And, here's the thing. Hi, Sean. I realized because I was like, oh, is the wine really fucking with me the next day? I don't notice any difference, right? I don't notice any difference from not drinking wine. I don't feel different. I don't feel better. I feel the same, really. So obviously I'm not drinking, enough that impacts me to feel, oh, I feel so great. I don't feel great because I don't notice a difference, right? I don't notice a difference. So I started venturing in with the gummy because I wanted to cut back on the wine just because the belly, and a couple of the other things that comes along with it. So, the Skechers suck. I hate the Skechers on them. And I don't want to tie because he would be fiddling with the ties and fall over and all that stuff. So I'm going to try. I'm going to maybe go get him some Vans today. Yeah, 6 months. Yeah. So good, Mary. So I started experimenting the last couple months with the gummies. And so, yes, I have been, Brandon, you asked, I have been sleeping better because I've been upping my dosage. So, yeah, I know my limits too. And sometimes I want to fuck the limits, right? But I don't do that all the time. Once in a while, I'll drink more than the Hey Dudes we had one time. They sent him some, and he tripped because I don't think they're heavy enough. They're too light, and he drags his feet, and that's when he had that bad fall. So we're totally PTSD from Hey Dudes for him. So the Vans have a thick sole, and I think he feels more stable, So I can't say, from my other comments, I can't say what the gummy is, but take it as it's a gardening gummy, which means it's in the fern, the hippie lettuce, those things. So it's been the best thing, I think, for me. I have slept amazing. So what I figured out if I start, I've kind of gotten my thing. I kind of gotten my vibe down, right? So about 3:34, I take one, right? I take 3/4 of a 10. And then once that kicks in, I wait about 20, 30 minutes and assess the situation of where I'm at. And then I take the other quarter. So that way it kind of, prolongs it out, right? And then right before bed, I take a half of a 5. And then it hits by the time I fall asleep because I'm already really tired. And then it hits and it keeps me asleep. Like it keeps me dead asleep. Since I started taking the one before bed, I have literally slept the best sleep ever since I've started. So I was saying I was waking up, and now that I've done that, it hasn't affected mine. When I take that 5 right before I go to bed, it literally, holy shit, I'm like out. So I haven't woken up in like 4 or 5 days. When's the last time I woke up and I couldn't sleep? I don't remember what day it was, but in the last like 3-4 days, I think I have been, since I've started taking the 5 at night, many years ago. I took a quarter too, Mary, many eons ago. Dan has bought me it's never the same, but he is on this he goes, when he goes, he gives me, oh my god, they're like candy. So it's like fruit flights or something like that. And they're like little, like they're dessert. The first one he gave me was one coated with nerds. So it has it's like fruit flights, I think. I'll have to look. And then this one was a strawberry shortcake. It literally, I showed my zoomies. It literally has a white piece of chocolate on the bottom of it. I mean, it's like, holy crap. It's so good.
You want to sit down or do you want to walk inside?
Oh my God, Jeff, that would scare me. I don't trust the homemade ones because they're dispersed. Because they're so dispersed. Oh, I dream. Oh, I dream.
You gotta turn.
I sure as hell do dream. Really, Mary? God, that scares me. They're alive half. Yes, Sandy, that's what mine are. That's what I can't repeat it. But if y'all are on YouTube, Sandy, that's what Dan has bought me. Okay, let me try to see if I can tell you. The hash brown, take off the brown. Rosinable, take off the bowl gummy. Everybody's like, so that's the ones he'd been buying me. It's like a literally fruit flight, and they're yummy. And it's a different, but I like it better than the other one. And Sir Magical, it could. So when I was taking less and not taking an additional one before I went to bed, it woke me up. But I have been dreaming really weird dreams. So I know. And it could change eventually. I don't know. Really bad. So I'm definitely going to try it and see if it works. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know. It's really helping me. I mean, it's really, like I said, I don't know enough about the alcohol. What I know about is the alcohol makes my heart rate go up at night because as perimenopausal metabolize the alcohol differently. So it gives you the heart palpitations, especially if you drink it closer to bedtime. I'm gonna see what happens with the weight loss if I'm 2 weeks. I mean, because I'm probably gonna drink in Nashville. I mean, there's a reception, so I probably will drink in Nashville. But I'm just trying to see and trying to find my vibe. So far, I'm enjoying the gummy vibe. I asked my aunt. I'm like, do you have any gummies? Can you get some for me? If you start to need more and more for the same effect, would you?
Drops.
If you have any underlying mental illness that can make it worse, you gotta get a correct dose. Not
Your
overdo
gummies
it.
are boring drops.
Oh, they're good. Non-judgy question. If you start to need more and more gummies for the same effect, would you? Yeah, I mean, everybody else who does, I mean, you develop, just like with anything, you develop a tolerance, right? So with anything, I mean, anybody. I mean, Dan, he doesn't do the gummies, but his tolerance is, I don't know why he's talking over me. He doesn't do the gummies because they're not, but he does need more and more and more too. But I would do it if it's helping, right? A minute I feel like it's not, I would have to stop. Your 87-year-old aunt eats them?
I
Yeah.
want you to pet them.
Not legal. Well,
I wish I could get video
it's
of
not
this.
legal, but they can get them. But my aunt was like, hey, we all do them. So yes, I'm sure.
Will knock up to most people, but
I feel like I started a topic about using. Yeah, you went from my dad and my mom, Jeff, to now we're talking about. In California, we have dispensaries, so it's legal. Every state's not like that.
be careful on TikTok. That's my memers.
He likes that.
Yeah.
He likes that.
So yeah, Sir Magical, everybody's
Bob.
different. And every mental illness that we all have affects it differently. And, if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is that on
Anyway,
purpose?
okay. I gotta go.
What?
I gotta get some stuff done because I have my appointment.
PT, I
Yeah.
know.
All right, guys. Hope Andrew's not doing any gummies or smoke spraying. I wish Andrew wouldn't do a lot of things, Steph, but you can't control it.
Oh, I have no place to go.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's horrible. I'm watching the same thing happen to my kids that happened to me in that regard. It took me 50
Lori,
years.
you may need one. Yeah, you may need one. In California, you don't anymore. But yeah, but now he doesn't. Dan, it's so funny because last night, if you saw the live, like he was like, "I think you need some alcohol. Do you need a glass of wine?"
Yeah, they're called boring drops. That you're
Dan,
not-
I have been doing those at live time for the last several weeks.
yeah, and you are not as lively.
Yeah, but you hate when I'm
No,
lively.
I hate when you attack trolls.
Well,
but
when
love
I
it
drink,
when you're
I'm going to
feisty.
attack trolls.
I like feisty.
Yeah, but you don't.
I like
It's a
feisty.
catch-22. Okay, Mark, do they make you hungry? Yes. They do make you hungry. I could totally eat on them. Dan eats on them, but I will not allow myself to eat on them. I go to bed.
It's not so much, they do make you hungry naturally, right? They're good for people that are on chemo or other things, but the worst part is the apathy. Because, yeah, I'm a little hungry, but I don't have to eat when I'm hungry. But when you are under the influence of that, you don't give a shit.
And I'm going
you
to tell
eat.
you what's worse for me. The alcohol, I have apathy. With this, I don't. This I can control better than with the alcohol. When I'm drinking the alcohol, I'm like, fuck
That's
it.
because
I don't
you're
care.
fairly low.
But when I do the other
go
stuff,
outside, Pop?
I could eat.
You ready to
Right?
go inside?
I
You
could
wanna sit here with
eat.
the cat?
Dan doesn't.
You wanna
Mary,
sit here
Dan
with the
won't
cat?
do 'em.
You should get video of this. Look at this.
Get your phone. I'm using my phone.
All right. Well, see if he'll stay there. Stay right there, Pop.
Beams is sitting with Grandpa. I'll show you guys. It helps me. It helps me sleep. It's been helping me sleep. It knocks me the fuck out because I found my dosage. I think the way I do it slowly. I just gotta try to see. Oh shit! Never mind. Dan's gonna be mad now because Beams left. I wanted you to see Grandpa with the cat, but now Dan's gonna be mad at me. Dan might scare him away. So I've noticed that, like, when I take the one before bed, it's knocked my ass out. Like, knocked my ass. I think the first time I woke up last night, I don't even remember if I peed in the middle of the night, but I think I did. I peed once, and then Grandpa got me up at 5:30, and I had to get him back to bed. But that was it. And I went back to bed, and I felt he's eating. So yeah, I was out. In the last couple days, I've been out, like
You ready to
out.
go inside?
A lot of
ready
other
to go
things,
in, or do you
and
wanna
I
sit
used
out
to
here
hate it
longer?
when I was younger. I hated it when I was younger.
Do you
Hated
want to
it.
go inside, or do you want to
Hated
sit
it.
out here longer?
I didn't like it when I was younger.
Okay.
If they give you energy. They say, I can't say it, Stormy, but they supposed to, but they all affect me the same way. But I can't say that. I know you do,
You
Mary.
want to bring him in when you're done?
I still yell at my twin brother I know, I hated it. I did it, right? When I hated it, because there were cute boys that wanted me to do it with them, so I did it when I was younger, but I hated it.
Did what? Do you want to watch him?
The good old.
What do you want to do?
I'm just going inside. You'll bring him in when you're done. He's happy sitting.
Yeah, if he's happy.
She'll
sitting
bring
there.
you in when you're. She'll bring you in.
It is
going
healing.
inside.
I'm
She'll
actually-
bring you in.
And
when
I'm
you're
doing
ready
it
to go
too
in.
for like pain.
Enjoy
because
the
I've
cat.
had so much pain, my elbow. So it's helpful for that. It's so funny because Dan, he's like, I've been trying to get you to do this for fucking years, and then he gets mad at me because I fall asleep. And back in the day, we used to have some amazing, and today it's just not the same thing. Like today, I eat and then I I take it and then I'm sleepy. So I start like at 3:30, 4 o'clock, and then I just kind of, nibble. And then I take a final one at the end of the night. But I won't eat. I promise you, I won't eat. So it's really hard to discuss it. But the one, it's like a dessert. The ones Dan have been getting me. So it's way healthier. And it probably, who knows? I mean, is it healthier? Maybe. I mean, I'm not going to stop drinking wine. I mean, that's the whole thing. I'm just kind of experimenting right now. I really wanted to find an alternative, right? Or something that was healthier or not as, caloric and stuff like that. This is not like a forever, I'm not ever, ever, ever drinking. this is like this is just a learning to embrace the gummy without, you know, the wine, and feeling what is the right, you know, dosage and stuff, right? And trying to see what works. Now, it's the habitualness of having that wine glass, right? Because if you're a wine drinker, you know, just like being able to, no, I did too much one time, Sir Magical, because I was still trying to learn, and then I drank too much wine, and it wasn't a good time for me. It wasn't a good time for me. I was dry heaving in the toilet for a couple minutes. I went to bed. It wasn't good. Dan was like, "For the love of God, you know, I have to have a stem." So sometimes what I, it's not a good, but sometimes what I do, yeah, it's called greening. Yeah, Dan's like, "Didn't you know? I mean, haven't you learned from me in the past? Not good." I'm like, "No." So I'm too old for that shit. I got the spin so bad. It was horrible. I was like, this is not good. I'm 50. I'm too old for this shit. I love the stems. So sometimes I feel like it's really important to, you know, have, I for the first couple days, I had a wine glass just to kind of, you know, pretend. And now I don't really need it. I have a soda when I go on the live with you guys or whatever, but this is not a forever, not, my goal is not to not drink ever. But my goal is to, you know, lighten it up, not, you know, use one or the other type of thing. Yeah, that was horrible. And it was red wine. So I have an issue. Women, women who are menopausal, oftentimes our tolerance to red wine changes too, because I think it's the tannins in it that kind of fuck us up. So red wine, if I drink too much of it, really makes me sick, even without the gummy. And so I think I was talking to people and I was having good, and before you know it, the bottle was gone, and I was like, oh fuck, you know. Did you quit drinking the Red Bulls? I did, because Stormy, I've been drinking coffee and it's been fine with my system. So yeah, you're never too old. Your mind is forever young. I think that's the problem. That's what Grandpa thinks, right? And that's why I have to always remind him, dude, you're 92. Like, you can't do things. You can't go chop down that tree like you think you can. You're fucking 92. You can barely walk. You know, you fell. I did not fall. Yeah, you fucking fell. You know, and so it's those things. Lemon water is great. But, you know, I do, bye, Big Dog. Yeah, so I'm having fun doing the little, and I wish I could show you what I'm doing, but I can't. And they're good, and this one is wonderful. I would never give it to Grandpa because he's so unsteady that I would be way too scared to even try it. We won't even give him melatonin. Herbal tea, yes, I love herbal tea. And Helen, it's starting to get cold enough at night where in the fall, once the cold starts, I start drinking tea every night. I love my tea. Anyhow, but it comes out the other end, yes. So it was really funny, Mary, because the other day, Andrew was like, Mom. So I was so scared because when he goes to Santa Barbara, my cousin is a huge, like, wine connoisseur, loves wine, loves really good whiskey and all that stuff. And so he's like, I just have to ask you this, because he's always so paranoid because of his kidneys, right? And he's always has a certain amount of blood in his urine. Like, sometimes you can see it, and sometimes most of the time you can't. But he's always going to test high with some hemoglobin. Anyway, so he always worries when his poop changes colors, because he's always like paranoid that it's his kidneys or something. You know, it's like So he's like, if you drink too much red wine, does your poop ever change colors? And he's like, bipolar. And I said, well, yeah, it does. He's like, because it was black and it scared the shit out of me. And so that day, the day that I drank too much red wine, which was like 3/4 of a bottle, and I had the thing the next day. It was funny. I almost took a picture for Andrew, and I said, look, there's the black poop. Yes, it does. No, it was from the wine. It's just like if you eat too many hot Fritos, hot Cheetos, your poop has an orangish hue, or blood. Andrew also has freaked out over that because of the hot Cheetos. He loves them and he'll eat a whole bag and then he shits and wonders why the hell his shit is, orange or red. Well, dude, you just had a whole fucking bag full of, yeah, blue icing. And then also, I had Jennifer one time when she was little. Oh my God, that's funny. She ate too many red vines. Same thing happened at like 8. She was 8. And Dan and I were away. And the babysitter called. She goes, your daughter's like paranoid. So they sent me a picture. And I was like, were you eating red vines? Yes, I was. Am I dying? Because this was after my mom died. So it became, everything was worried. All my kids had, worries. Am I dying, Mom? Like Grandma? Honey, you had too much licorice. Okay. Oh, God. Anyway. All right. It's crazy. Yeah. The poops, the pictures. Hannah, I get poop pictures from Hannah too. Mom, is this, I'm like, bruh, your boyfriend lives with you now. Why do I have to see that? Why do you have to send that shit to me? Don't I get excused now that your boyfriend lives with you? Shit. No. I don't. And I thought that when Justin moved down to San Diego, it would prevent me from seeing poop pics, paranoid about getting her teeth filled, doctor appointments, whining and complaining. No, she still calls her mama. What about Justin? He's like, I need you, not him. That girl will never disown me. She couldn't. Oh, God, everything. No. Justin will not be sending his next. God, no. He's so used to Hannah. Like, it's just like, he doesn't even listen. Yeah, I think she will always. Jennifer could probably go without. Andrew, I don't think could ever go without me. Jennifer, I think, would be the only one that could probably not talk to me forever. The other two, I'm stuck with. But Jennifer, she's, yeah, no. I think she could, yeah, Hannah has a boyfriend. Hannah's been with the same guy since she was a junior in high school. Yeah. The poop master. Yeah, sometimes I get random pictures and I don't even get a warning. It just comes. What do you think this is? Shit. Besides poop, Mom, I know, but why do you think it looks like this? So, yes, I'm a medical doctor. I'm a veterinarian. I'm a psychologist. I am a psychiatrist. I'm a plumber. I'm a landscaper. I'm a maid. Yes, everything else. And I'm a poop detector. I mean, shit. Did y'all not know I had to dab Dan's poop for his fecal matter testing? Shit. Literally. I'm up to my hands and elbows in shit. Anyway, thanks, Mary. Okay, I gotta go. Speaking of shit, I gotta go clean some shit up in the back. I gotta play with the dogs really quick. And then I gotta go to get my neck done. You guys wish me luck. Today is Thursday. I will be on our member live tonight. So, don't they have Google? Yes, they Google. I am their Google. Mom! So I will be doing a member live later. Maybe I'll do it earlier. It just depends on how my day goes, you guys. Depends on how early I get on. Yeah, Grandpa's just chilling in the seat. He loves being outside. He's going to be able to start probably sitting outside a little bit more because it's not as hot. And so he just loves looking at the trees. He's just sitting, chilling, chilling. How many naughty pics have I gotten? You know what's really weird? Is I get naughty pics on my text messages. The other day somebody said, it was an Asian woman, which probably really wasn't an Asian woman. It was just somebody who was pretending to be an Asian woman. And they were talking to Andrew. Hey, Andrew, how you doing? What you want? I've had butt pictures sent to me, which are probably not the people sending them to me for Dan. Just maybe getting the wrong number off of the Google. So yeah, I get a lot of pictures. Yeah, not on email. I get death threats on emails. and hoping that I die. People, death threats, and people wishing that I fall and crash or something like that. I get those all the time on my emails, and on random voicemails too. So whatever. Jaren, you can always watch them though. Rewatch them. Anyhow, I gotta go. I gotta go. I don't want any dick pics, even though I joke about it sometimes. And I sure as hell don't. I do want the vag pics. Those you can send. Anyway, what do I do wrong to get death threats? James, just being me. People don't like me. So I'm just fortunate enough that people just don't understand me. And they just like to hate. And so, anyhow, yeah. Okay, anyhow, gotta go. Love ya. I'm gotta go and do my PT. God, I can't wait. I'm in pain. So I'll see you tonight for all of my members on YouTube. Remember, if you are not a member yet, to get the privilege of having member lives, you have to join the YouTube. And yes, it costs, what, $5.99, $4.99, whatever it gets it. But that's how you get into you're just not nice. Oh, God, Natasha, that just hurts me so much. And really quick, I gotta address this troll really quick. And really, if you think I'm not nice, honey, look at your actions. Look at your actions, girl. And what does that tell you about yourself? You're the one that's not nice. You just came on my page and told me I wasn't nice. Oh, I'm sure that makes you a model citizen, right? Yeah. There you have it. Anyhow, gotta go. Bye.